American professor Mc Carthy describes in his book Exile and Death that the genocide committed against Turks and Muslims in the Balkans was the largest and unwritten genocide in history. Mc Carthy began his work on the massacre and exile of Muslims, the subject of the book, by chance while examining population movements in the Ottoman Empire during the First World War. Mc Carthy's research at the time consisted of examining how many Muslims lived in Anatolia and how their numbers changed throughout the 19th and 20th centuries. The results of the study astonished him because nothing he had read about Ottoman history up until then had prepared him for the horrific death toll of that period. The statistics showed that 1/4 of the Muslim population had perished. Mc Carthy, who could not believe that a loss of this magnitude could have been hidden from history books, repeatedly researched the documents, which always led him to the same conclusion. Not only during the First World War, but throughout the 19th century, the Muslim population of Anatolia, Crimea, the Balkans, and the Caucasus had suffered from a constant loss of life. Their losses were worth further investigation. In 1800, there was a vast Muslim homeland in Anatolia, the Balkans, and southern Russia. Muslims were not only the rulers of these lands, but also the majority of the population, and even in places where they were not the majority, such as in most of the Balkans and some parts of the Caucasus, they constituted a considerable proportion of the population. The borders of the Ottoman Empire included Crimea and its surroundings, a large part of the Caucasus region, eastern and western Anatolia, as well as a large area of southeastern Europe from Albania and Bosnia to the Black Sea. Even among the very mixed nationalities of the borderlands of Romania and southern Russia, which were geographically nearby, the presence of Muslim communities was felt. By 1923, only parts of Anatolia, Thrace, and the South Caucasus remained as Muslim lands. Muslims in the Balkans had almost disappeared, that is, they had died or been forced to migrate. Those who survived remained in small settlements in Greece, Bulgaria, and Yugoslavia. The same fate befell Muslims living in Crimea, the North Caucasus, and Russian Armenia. They too had simply disappeared. Millions of Muslims, mostly Turks, had died, and millions more had fled to what we now call Turkey. Between 1821 and 1922, more than 5 million Muslims were driven from their lands. 5.5 million Muslims had died. Some were massacred in the wars, and the rest became refugees and died of starvation and disease.